Back again, day number 9, Klaipeda, Lithuania.
It's our first time to Lithuania, so we were really excited about checking out a new country.
Woo!
And although we're on the water, so we're far from the capital, we still feel like we got a good feel of what Lithuania is like.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. Third largest city, Klaipeda, Lithuania, 163, 164 odd thousand people in the city. It's a city-ish. I will say this, we did pretty much stick to the downtown core. We did push out just a little bit outside of the downtown core so we could get some shots and just kind of see maybe what life was like outside of the historic city center. And it's a city.
Right, it appears kind of small, but once you get walking, you actually cover a lot of ground. So I think it's bigger than it looks on the map.
Yeah, I think it's definitely bigger than it looks. It's certainly bigger than the tourist zone. Like, I imagine that a lot of tourists come here and they think, oh, it's a quaint little village. Nah, I think it's bigger than that.
Right. And the buildings, you've got a good mixture of old and new. You've got some of the older style. It looks like the paint's peeling off and it looks really old, but then you also have some that seem to be refurbished and they're new brick and just very nice looking. So quite a mix of that.
Yeah, this place is super charming. I would highly recommend it. If it's one of your port of calls, definitely get off the ship, check it out.
Mm-hmm. And the people are really nice too. We spoke just to a few when we were at cafes and things like that, and everyone was really nice.
Really nice, spoke English, tried hard. Yeah, I mean, what more can you ask for?
So we were able to catch Lithuania on a Saturday here in Klaipeda, and so we saw a lot of little fresh markets too, which was really cool to see all the fresh produce and what they do, just normal life.
Yeah, their main city square, there are different stalls that are set up. Really famous for amber. So Kalie picked up some earrings.
I did, yes. I like getting jewelry in new places.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a bit going on kind of downtown or down in that city square area. And then as you get away from there, cobblestone streets, different shops and cafes and restaurants that you can venture your way into.
I would say a tip that I have is to wear comfortable footwear because especially in the old town, the cobblestone streets and the rocks are just all over the place. So you could trip easily, I think, in sandals or something that doesn't have good support. Don't wear heels or anything. So I was very happy that I decided to wear tennis shoes. I thought that was a good choice. So if you're going to just be walking around, that's what I would recommend.
For sure. There's not a ton of landmarks, but a lot of the landmarks or things that you should check out are pretty much centered around the shipping industry, the seafarers, the sailors, maritime. It's kind of that theme. So you're going to get a lot of that, and you would kind of expect that at a port city.
And it definitely makes me want to see more of the country.
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed it. So I would say I'd like to see the capital and even some of the countryside.
One of my highlights was we went to a brewery. I mean, to call it a microbrewery is a bit tough because the thing's actually quite big.
It's huge, and it's old, got some history, right?
It does have some history. So it's in this 200-year-old building that used to be a brewery, and now it's fixed up and it's a brewery again. It reopened in 2018. The name of it is Švyturys Brewery is the actual place where we went inside. We had a couple beers and we tried out a little bit of food and just kind of took in the vibe. This place is done, man. It is done up so well. The bathrooms were even nice. They were tricked out.
Yeah, so definitely would recommend it. We just kind of came across it on the sign. The good thing is down in the old town and around that, they've got really good signage. So we just saw it and we're like, oh, let's try that out.
Yeah, it's pushing out a little further away from the cobblestone streets. I mean, like, further away, I mean a block. So it's not that far away. So hopefully that end of town will start to get developed more and more money will come in from these cruises.
But definitely take a look at that. It was a cool place.
I'm a fan of Klaipeda. Well, we've come to that time where I've got to ask that question. Would you expat that?
Dun dun dun. This is a tough one because my initial thought was that it seemed a little small. But once we got going, I was like, oh, it is bigger and seemed like the cost of living was good. So I think I could see myself in a short-term type stint. So maybe as a digital nomad for 6 months to a year. I think after that, I like bigger cities, so I might get bored after more than a year, but I think it could work. The only setback for me is it probably gets cold here, and I'm not a huge fan of the cold, so that would be something to consider. But cost of living seems low. And you?
Yeah, I would say I would expat that. I would expat the heck out of that. It was really funny. Like when we got off the cruise ship, we could have gone left, we could have gone right. We went right instead of left because the crowd went left. We zigged, they zagged. Anyways, we ended up in this small area where I thought, well, if this is the market, it was like just produce. If this is the market, my gosh, this place is I don't want to say sad because that sounds terrible, but it
not much going on.
There's not much going on. But then the other market, it was definitely geared towards tourists, and there was much more going on. But in saying all that, my first impression was like, whoa, this place is a bit sleepy. It's not sleepy. It's not sleepy. There are young people out. There are couples out walking their dog or dogs, pushing their strollers with their babies. And then there are also older people out that are just having a stroll. Like, really nice.
Yeah,
really
quite a
nice.
mix. And lots of dogs, too.
Really nice, laid-back lifestyle. And then as we walked past restaurants and bars and even the brewhouse we went to, the prices are very good. Like half of the cost of other places in Europe, in Western Europe. So I think it could be an awesome place to be a digital nomad.
Cool. Okay, so that's all from Lithuania. Tomorrow we are off to Poland. We are going to port in Gdynia, so we'll see you there.
See ya.